Oh, yes, God, praise. It is right to give him praise.
Sorry. I think so.
That's always the hard part. It's like, make yourself comfortable. It's like, well, God, that's something I do involuntarily. Now, to do it intentionally is indeed uncomfortable. My God, we solved it here, folks. You heard it here first.
Yes, God. Sweet.
Oh. All right. So, if you have any racial slurs, you want to get out of the way while I check this camera angle.
Heffalumps and woozles.
Heffalumps and woozles? Christ Jesus. It's just like when I said lock the door, we're talking about Israel. Which one of these? Let's see which camera this is.
I'm scared.
What?
This general vibe.
Here?
Yes.
Why?
I'm overcome with fear. Lord, take the wheel.
I don't like crime. Murder.
Murder or crime.
Oh, I am a fucking genius. I am the songbird of my generation. This is what you're supposed to be.
I know that about you. Do you have that written in lipstick on your mirror?
Yeah, I can do it in 3, 2. I'll bring my own lipstick.
That'd be very special.
I think so. There's worse things. My frame is too small. I'll kill your mother. Jesus Christ, I was teaching 5th grade today. Woo, honey, we're fucked.
Wait, you're teaching again?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Say more about that.
Yeah.
So, Caroline, get up on that mic, too.
Okay.
Don't be shy.
Adjust it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it to you. Oh.
Yes, God.
And, no, so I was at School of Rock for a couple years, and then just, it fell in my lap the last day of my last summer camp with them, a full-time, like in a public school again, but teaching music instead of teaching English.
And this was last year?
This would have been August of last year.
Okay.
I've been very busy on top of that. Like,
Yeah.
I've kind of just added it to my life and kind of not really stopped doing anything else, except for teaching at School of Rock, because I just with the schedule. But so I was teaching 6th grade band all year. But now I think I'm going to go be the librarian because no one applied and the last one is deceased.
I would love that for you.
Well, I think middle school librarian is a really good fit for me. I don't know how long they're going to let there be librarians because nobody even knows how to read. But if I could be like the last librarian, that's what we'll call the movie. Mm-hmm. The last literate person in the state.
The movie.
The movie.
We've
the miniseries.
Been workshopping.
Yeah.
It could be the prequel.
Yeah. It could.
TBD.
It needs a whole lineage. You know what I mean? And I think Star Wars had it right. You start dead center. And then we do 6 prequels and 6 sequels. And then we interweave episodical TV shows. It all boils down to exactly what we do with this show. In that, what we do is we do a full-length episode a week. Mm-hmm. And then I cut that up into clips. And then I cut those clips into smaller clips. And then they permeate every corner of the internet.
That's where you source
and I
your
still get scared that it's all
TikToks.
going to get deleted by accident because I'm sick.
I get it.
And so I was teaching, band all year. It's been crazy, but it's also not been... And I'm teaching English for summer school. And so last week I was teaching 6th grade, but there are not tons of 6th graders, and there are too many 5th graders, so now I have to go to the other building and teach 5th grade. But it's going to be good.
Are you noticing like a marked difference between your 5th graders and your 6th graders?
No. Size, mostly.
Okay.
They're a little easier to forgive when they're... Younger. The younger they look, the less mad at them you stay.
I know how that feels
Yeah.
on both sides, I think, because I was a big bitch from the get.
Yeah.
So people look at you and they're like, oh, you're 32. And I'm like, actually, I'm 12.
Yeah. Well, now you're 32, but you've been the size you are
I
at
haven't
32
changed,
since you were 12.
Yes,
You may
exactly.
even be...
Things have fluctuated.
Really? I'm down about 70 pounds. I switched to eating mostly once a day. And when I get hungry, otherwise, I just have Diet Coke. I also don't know how well I am because I haven't really slowed up on the cannabis at all since quarantine started.
Okay. I thought
And
you
this was
had
the first one.
a chapter where you were abstaining.
From alcohol.
I know about that. And that's still happening?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Totally California sober since March 13th, 2020.
Okay. I'm like projecting that.
No, because you're thinking of all the times you and me would volley for a while.
Yeah.
Of who was drinking and who wasn't. Like there'd be times where I wasn't drinking for a week or for a month or for whatever.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out how to make it work in my life without having to give it up totally. Because I thought giving it up would be harder because I thought I would have to keep going to work every day. And like, I thought drugs were going to stay illegal and whatnot. Whereas with... no, it just wasn't that way when the world shut down. We figured this out in the last couple episodes too, that all of my life goals were really attributed to things that, like all my lifelong life goals up until that point were really things I accomplished by like 30. And so just because I didn't know that I would ever accomplish any of those things, so I didn't know that I had value beyond them. And so then like, retrospectively, it's like, oh, I quit drinking then because I wasn't being forced to go into work for a while, and I wasn't actually anxious about whether or not I could accomplish these other things because I had just done them. Like we got married like right before that and bought that house, and those were kind of like I thought those would be harder to do.
Yeah.
They're harder to do now even than they were then. But your question about that was, the whole thing with... So now I'm teaching, and it doesn't make me totally crazy, because I think I must have gotten better in some ways, emotionally.
Well, when you feel like you're choosing it
Yeah.
more, I think is what you're saying a little bit. Like,
I had to prove I could support myself.
Yeah, to yourself.
Yeah, outside of that, because it's the only real thing I'd ever done. Because
Right.
when I worked at like Guitar Center and stuff, I lived with my mom. So I thought I had to just teach English, and that was the only thing I was ever going to make a living wage doing. Which
Yeah.
is just not true. People are holding it together with far less. Far less.
They are. I have a similar thing with like waiting tables. I'm like, well, I've never done anything else, and what else am I capable of, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, well, I better make some music videos.
Guys, welcome to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start like we do every episode by inviting you to check out Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois, caddyshackil.org. You may be wondering who my lovely guest is here today, and it's my dear friend, Bea James, a.k.a. or formerly known as Aunt Carol, formerly known as Carolyn, and then... Baby! Because you started to bring up something I wanted to talk about again. So we had to intro you because there will be a code open, but we have so much to talk about. So we're here because we are linking up for a rare return to town for you since you moved to Nashville, and so I wanted to kind of catch up on my perspective on all the stuff you're working on, and then talk about the show on Thursday, and also sweep through just some moments therein, and then we'll kind of zoom out. Right? So, singer, songwriter, do you feel compelled to identify genre too often?
People ask, and I usually just say like the EP or the singles that I've put out are pretty firmly like indie pop, and then I come from like a more folk background. But I would say that my stuff's informed by those styles mainly.
Because this is the weird thing with you, for me, is when we first met as children, you weren't really doing any of the things you do now yet.
No.
So this is relevant to something Lucius and I talk about a lot, that when we were like that age, where you and I first started hanging out, we were like 19 or 20 or something, maybe right around there, that we thought like people that were really good at stuff had this like mythical lifelong greatness that we didn't understand. But you, starting at adulthood, kind of taught yourself how to play piano.
Yeah.
Really started singing, not just in a way that you enjoyed, but in a way that you were like working on and really crafting into your own instrument. And then you play some guitar, right? And so I love that part of this because like you have a full stack of things for us to talk about today, just as an artist, right? But the thing that I like is that you haven't necessarily been doing this for 100,000 years. Like, it's not like the only thing you remember ever doing. You know what I mean? It was something that kind of came into your life later and much more intentionally, which is something I want to talk about. And
I think there's a lot of value to like having the beginner's mindset that breeds.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot to be said for like having the experience and like the confidence to like gesture backward in time and be like, look at all this stuff that I've done that I can draw upon and look at.
Because creatively, like writing songs, starting to write songs at a slightly older age maybe makes a lot of sense, because if you look at human brain development and then you look at your life experience, it's probably more advantageous to start when you have some real emotions to attach to some real images of things and words and whatnot, like you're saying. But also, how did it start? Because I wasn't around for the part where it kind of started. I kind of didn't see you for a while. And then you came back and you could play piano and you were like singing like on purpose, like a lot, like on purpose. You know what I mean? Which I loved and I was excited about. But how did that start though?
God. I mean, I was around you guys a lot and thinking like I desperately want to be doing this. And like I was a
that
theater.
explains why you were so tolerant of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there because I wanted to like somehow like absorb that and like
figure it out
and get in there.
Yeah. I was that same way before I played too. I would, if there was older guys at my high school, I'm not going to name any of them, who were in bands who were selling tickets to their shows, I'd say, I will absolutely buy a ticket to your show, but you got to pick me up. I'll help you carry stuff. And it's not even that my parents won't be home. It's that I don't want to ask my parents for a ride, but I would love to go to your rock show. And so I started hanging out with the first band I ended up joining. I started hanging out with them when I was like 14 because I just wanted to be a part of the energy, and I didn't know what that was going to be yet. But so like a similar thing, you're like, I need to be around creative people that are like pursuing something.
Yeah, and I just also happened to be by virtue of being someone like that. Yeah. But I was, like I said, like always a theater kid, and I was doing plays up until college, and it was just starting to become more and more apparent that like community theater is a full-time unpaid job. And theater was always kind of what I was doing so that I could sing.
Yeah, that was
like I loved acting.
This is so crazy.
And I thought of myself that way, but like much of like that was like, this is accessible to me. Like being a pop star is not, there's no like after school program for that at my age anyway.
Yeah.
So I was doing theater, and then it was like, this is a full-time job. I found this guy on Craigslist that said he was a producer, and I worked with him for a hot minute, and then started singing backup for Kara and River Kittens and blah, blah, blah.
You were singing backup for Kara?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that how you ended up with the River Kittens?
Kinda, yeah.
You hadn't really started doing solo stuff yet?
No, I think that's kind of what made me a good candidate for that, was like...
That you weren't like trying to do your own thing?
Not necessarily.
You had the singing experience?
I was like the only like... by like title backup singer around, and I'm a good hang,
a
and so it just
gal.
kind of I was ready to do it.
Yeah. You could play the tambourine. Do you play any tambourine?
Oh, it's terrifying to play the tambourine.
We have to go to a Church of God in Christ, Kajik. Those are the people bring their own tambourines from home to beat on in church, and so just you won't see leadership bring out a tambourine yet, so you don't know a tambourine is coming, and then 3 pews behind you, somebody's TT's out there with her own tambourine. All of a sudden. Seriously, I see it happen all the time. I think it's Kojic that do that. But I'm really into gospel right now.
You've always kind of been into gospel.
Okay, it's still coming. I've been telling you for 20 years. It's coming back. It's gonna. I was just thinking this in Quick Trip on my way here. I stopped at Quick Trip, and I was literally standing at the urinal in Quick Trip, thinking, what people don't understand about Whitney Houston is Whitney Houston took an instrument crafted in the gospel tradition and crossed it over into mainstream, and it's almost impossible to do without a profound gift and years of experience.
You by instrument, you mean her voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is what people don't understand about Whitney Houston.
People that aren't indoctrinated into the, you know what I mean, into the know-how will think that like a voice is something you could just do.
Yeah. No, it's important to work the instrument word in there.
Especially in that case.
Absolutely.
Where it was almost like
That's
I
an
don't know what I'm allowed
distinction.
to say. You know what I mean? But like I was just thinking like the gospel thing into that. So what is your I've always loved, especially 90s, because that was like the earliest time for me with them, but like divas and pop icons, and you and me have always talked about this as something that we like on purpose. And we saw Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah, we did.
And that was a really good show.
You know I love a diva.
Yeah, and this is only a few other people and I really have this in common to talk about. So I wanted to start with this because it also will bring us into why I felt like to intro you is the music videos. I want to talk about those.
Yeah.
I remember you doing choreography with Kara for one of her videos.
Yeah.
Which is not dissimilar in style to the choreography in the Pearls video. Mm-hmm. Which I'm going to link here so we don't have to spell it out loud or anything. But that all comes from all the divas used to have choreography in the video.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's where Kara got that inspiration, and then Kara's like a big inspiration for me. So it's kind of like it's kind of like an homage moment when I'm like conceptualizing videos. I'm like, okay, what have I always wanted to do, and like what have I seen in videos that I thought was cool, and like. Yeah, like I glued a jillion feathers on these wings that I made for the Pearls video.
Yeah.
And you end up seeing in the video just how like DIY they are, but we just kind of made that like kind of a focal
thumbnail,
point.
It holds up really nice in the thumbnail.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that was the case, but that ultimately
That's
like
how you picked the thumbnail. It's like, where do the feathers look the best? Mm-hmm. Is that the cover for the single too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I clicked on one, it was just that image. And I was like, oh, this is just the song. And then I had to go find the video under it or whatever. But, and again, Bea James on YouTube. I watched all of them on my way here while driving.
Oh, good.
Right past the arch that my great-grandfather helped build. And
it's the most St. Louis thing I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. It's a recurring theme on the show.
That was actually a pretty narcissistic thing for me to say that right there.
What?
That was the most St. Louis thing, because that's like saying that I'm like Nelly or something, and you're watching Nelly while you're driving by the arch.
Yeah.
This is very self-important.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I thought you meant the most St. Louis thing you'd ever heard is that I'm driving by the arch and my great-grandfather helped build it.
Is that true?
Yeah. Now, see, you heard the part of the story that would have been about you, and I thought you meant the part that was about me. That's why.
Did you say that?
That's why we forgive one. Are you a Capricorn? Mm-mm. You're...
No, I have like one Capricorn placement. I can't think of what
I'm
it is right now.
Capricorn.
But my big three, since you were really asking.
Yeah, we did a hard astrological deep dive the other day on the show.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. This is not going to seem weird to the audience if they listen to them in order.
Okay, excellent. If you haven't already guessed by now, I'm a Scorpio sun, Virgo moon, Gemini rising. Okay, and we can talk more about that.
Yeah, I'm way into that. So part of that is, as you finally got to a point where you were making your own music and you got to make your own videos, that you were thinking, okay, what do my topmost like icons do in their videos? You know what I mean? And there's some choreography, like what we're talking about it. What else do we... let's name some names so people know what kind of pop divas we're talking about that were real icons for us.
I mean, currently, I can't not mention Chappell Roan.
Sure.
Just with the Midwestern thing, with the very like DIY thing, the queer thing, the like diva kind of drag informed aesthetic.
That's huge.
That's somebody I really identify with.
Yeah.
I think like when we first started becoming friends, and even now, like people will be like, "Oh, you have like a little bit of a Florence thing going on with your voice."
Yeah, she was big then.
Mm-hmm. That was massive, and then of course, like,
but like when we were kids, though.
Yeah.
Like I was really into the Spice Girls first.
Massive.
I still have "Baby One More Time" on pink vinyl.
Oh my God.
That album changed my life. I never get sick of it. "Email My Heart" is a sleeper. If you haven't listened to "Email My Heart" lately, pull it up.
Email my heart.
That's a good one. You know what I heard the other day was "Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know." And you know who produced that?
Max Martin.
Oh. Don't you say it. Don't you say his name.
Mutt
fucking
Lang, dude.
Are you serious?
Yes, Shania Twain's ex-husband, who's a monster and a demon. We talked about this a couple weeks ago on the show. Yeah. He also, I pulled up a playlist on Spotify after that of just songs Mutt Lang produced, and the only Britney song I think I recognized was "Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know," which is the one after she broke up with Justin and she's like kissing on the dude, but like by the fire on the beach. Do you remember this video?
That wasn't that album, though. No,
not the same album.
Okay,
same diva though.
Same diva.
A new album. That's what we should call your album.
Same diva. New album.
Mutt Lang, songs written or produced by. And you know who we didn't talk about Mutt Lang? Before he did Def Leppard, he did AC/DC.
I saw a bunch of stuff. I saw the Cars on there too.
Yeah, the Cars, Foreigner, who I love. Yeah. Are these in chronological order? Billy Ocean.
I wonder if he gives a piece of his soul to every project, and that's why he's so inconceivable.
He loses pigment with every track. Every song is made with bits of real mutt. Oh. Any Man of Mine, The Woman in Me. That's not even the best Shania. He did a lot of Bryan Adams. Ugh, You're Still the One.
I know.
Masterpiece. It's Gotta Be You by the Backstreet Boys. I have that album, but I don't know that song.
It's Gotta Be You? Uh-huh. Not It's Gonna Be Me by NSYNC.
It's Gotta Be You by the Backstreet Boys. It was probably a response track.
It's gonna be mine.
If you want it. He did If Walls Could Talk by Celine Dion.
I know that one.
Who we love.
I got a Celine Dion CD for
Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know.
Christmas.
I just had to make sure I wasn't right. Or wasn't wrong. That was the second album.
Okay.
I have no recollection of this at all.
Which one is it?
Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know.
This is Britney?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It definitely reminds me of Mutt Lang then, because I was going to say this is a Shania one. I know this one though.
Oh, it's already on my favorite songs for this month. On Spotify, Jacob V's favorite songs. On Spotify, June 24 is out.
I'm gonna check that
Christ
shit out.
Jesus. So Mutt Lang, Britney. So this is the thing. Before like more contemporary. Carol, I'm over here. Before more contemporary examples like that, I was thinking like that stuff. You and me both love Whitney. We love Celine. We love Cher.
Yes.
Just because the kids will be like, "What is a diva?"
Yeah.
Kids will say that to me.
These
I told a girl
are good
the other day,
names
I said,
to name.
"A diva has a key," and she said, "What?" And I said, "Never mind. You're not ready."
Were you like teaching voice?
Sure.
Like asking what key she likes to sing in?
I was giving an example of something like that. I don't know that I was.
A diva has a key.
Yeah, a
Mine's
diva
C.
has a key. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is C?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Right? I know.
We got to work on that.
Unfortunately, that's just what it is.
They'll laugh you out of that Kojic church if we go in there. You're telling them, my key is C. Can we go up to C? They're all A flat, B flat. And they all bring their own tambourines. You're going to show up no tambourine with C?
I'm going to show up no tambourine, and they're going to thank me.
They'll give you one.
They're going to thank me for not bringing a tambourine in there. No, it's sacred, and I can't mess that up.
What's sacred?
Like the rhythm.
So, I feel like a lot of that was disjointed because there's so much for you and me to talk about this stuff. That, first and foremost, Bea James, An Evening With.
Yeah, something. It's going to be that vibe. Is
At
an evening
Joe's
with.
Cafe.
Yeah.
8 p.m. Central Standard Time, because that's where we are. Is it the same time zone in Nashville?
Yeah.
Is that a stupid question?
No.
Because it changes sooner than you would think going that way.
Yeah.
And will this be like your first opportunity to perform for like family and friends and stuff for a long time?
Yeah. Like I haven't played a show period since January. And there was a nasty tornado in Nashville that night. Boxcar came in from St. Louis and played a show at the Cobra. And against my better judgment, I went out and played a few songs. And that was the last show that I played. And then I've been playing like some open mics and mostly just like working on videos and trying to keep my head above water.
I really loved the video for... I watched them all back to back today. So
there's Attic with the green hair and puppets.
Okay, so that one gave me almost like a 4K Wes Anderson vibe, like a more modern.
Okay.
But like in a positive way, because I'm a
Okay.
huge fan of Wes.
Sure.
Of the family of Andersons. You know, I told Clay that Paul Thomas Anderson and Wes Anderson were brothers, and he believed it for 10 years.
I mean, they have the same last name.
Right. And so
It's feasible,
um
but I don't know.
right. Now but so
Yeah, you
Attic-
could have lied to me about
one of
that
them,
too.
who is Emily Calhoun?
Erica Calhoun.
Erica Calhoun.
Yes, shout out Erica Calhoun.
God damn it, that would have been impressive if it was 100% accurate. Can you imagine 100% accurate?
You were so close.
She probably, I bet if we called her right
Same
now, she'd
number
say,
of
oh my God,
syllables.
they used to call me that.
She's a really talented photographer that I met through, she's doing work for Niche Food Group.
Really?
And so I met her at Pastaria. And I was like, have you ever done a music video? And she said, no, but we could try. And so...
That's the thing. The technology has improved to the point. Or, did you want some of this? I didn't want to offer this to you on camera if you're going to run for governor or anything.
Let's just shoot that in the foot right now.
Okay.
Honestly.
You know, I was this close to Eric Greitens in a pool.
I'm scared again.
True story.
That's tasty.
Oh, yeah, that's the Mississippi Nights shake I get from 315. Not a sponsor. It's $100 for 28 G's a shake, brother.
Brother. You got to put some sound effects in there. Are you trying to do like an ASMR thing or? I'm so glad this is finally going to be like recorded for public consumption.
Yeah, but these aren't live when I do them here.
Yeah.
So, like, I could clip that out. I probably won't, but I could.
It's pretty good.
Because that's a whole other step. I got to do the audio, and then I got to line up all the video, and then I got to put the perfect audio on the video, and then I got to line those up. And then I got to keep them lined up, and then I got to clip shit out.
It sounds like kind of a long process.
Because I usually end up skipping the last step, which is clip shit out. So my thing is, you're performing mostly piano and voice yourself on Thursday?
Yeah, and then I will probably not touch anything for some of them, and then I will play a little acoustic.
Yeah.
I've gotten a little better. I started that in 2020.
What?
Acoustic, well, guitar.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I had you play one of mine for a song once, I think.
One of your guitars?
Yeah, because we were doing a thing.
Oh, yeah, the porch thing.
No, we also did, at the Heavy Anchor, we did a thing.
Okay, yeah.
And you played, like, a real electric guitar, but, like, of course, for, like, I mean, it was like into like a half stack and stuff.
A half stack.
It was like a big amp. It was like it looked like it was. I think it was my white Telecaster with the cheetah.
Oh yeah.
Because you were just doing one song that you played guitar on.
Yeah.
And so it was just funny. So it sounded great, but it just looked like you were playing like I was
a
Motley
guitar
Crue
guy
guitar or something like a sleazy, like it was like Leopard and shit into a
It
half
speaks
stack.
to me aesthetically.
Yeah, I think it's cute. It was fun. I mean, I play that guitar all the time. But the a half stack is like a big amp, like a taller one than that. And so storytelling, conversation at all is part of the show? Are you pounding out a lot of songs? I feel like we used to do a lot of songs, but we also used to do a lot of covers.
We used to do a lot of covers. And that was something I was intimidated about with this one. I was like, how long do people usually play? What's that look like? And he was like 90 minutes. And I was like, I don't even do 30 most of the time. Like,
well, you don't usually get to.
Right. And it didn't feel appropriate to do like a ton of covers. I have enough songs to fill that amount of time, but
then you're playing everything, not just the stuff you feel really good about playing.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And like,
I've done that before.
it's just not where I'm at. If I was like more of a guitar guy or like a stronger piano player, like whatever. But like I want to put on a show and I want it to flow and I want it to be engaging and like entertaining.
That's also something I wanted to ask you about. How much did you bother yourself with music theory and whatnot? Because I was listening to maybe Attic today or Attic ATTIC
singular. Yeah.
That I was listening to that and listening to the chord progression, and I know why the chord progression makes sense from a music theory standpoint, but that's because I obsess over that stuff in a way that's unnecessary. I could totally see you deciding, okay, I like this progression of these three chords for this. And so how do you count those and how do you make those decisions? Like because some of those songs are not easy to play.
Yeah, they're weird, but they were, I mean, pretty much entirely intuitively written. I was just like, these are the chords that I know. And this is like.
Was this mostly on your Wurlitzer?
Yes.
Which you still have.
Which I still have, and I'll have that at Joe's Cafe on Thursday at 8
Ooh,
p.m.
Come see the Wooly, baby. And how did you end up with that?
It lived in my parents' basement for as long as I could remember.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And like I was describing earlier, like in college, thinking like I want to start pursuing music, and I moved out of my parents for the first time, and I was like, what are you going to do with that Wurlitzer? And they were like, you can't have it, it's too expensive, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, you're not going to sell it, so it's either going to like sit in the basement and collect dust, or it's going to come with me.
And I'm going to play it.
I'm
going to take it out of your basement when you're dead anyway.
Exactly.
Why wait?
Why wait? Watch it get played. They don't regret that now, I don't think.
I didn't know it had a sentimental value.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a gift or something. But I felt like when I saw or heard you playing a song you had written on that for the first time, it seemed very like essential to the vibe and the aesthetic. And was that Patterns?
Maybe. That one, I mean, yes, Lord. Patterns and Attic were like two of the first songs I ever wrote. Attic, I think, being like maybe like the second one. Fully formed anyway. I had always like written lyrics or like come up with little melodies or whatever, but like doing lyrics, melody, chords, all of it. Those are some of the first handful of ones. And Attic, like, I wanted to sound kind of like nursery rhymey and like match where I was at, like with what I was capable of doing with an instrument at that point.
Because I also feel like harmonically, like I have to make this choice on my Nord a lot. That do I want a piano that sounds like a really beautiful, bright, lively piano, like a acoustic piano, or do I want like an electric piano, which really is totally flipped in the kind of harmony it provides you as a singer, right? Because like a piano is really bright and has a really quick decay a lot of the time, especially higher up.
Yeah.
Whereas like a Wurlitzer like that is really syrupy, and it gives you like a really gooey harmonic environment to put your voice. And your voice isn't like the highest on the planet. So there's spots where you feel more comfortable and you like to kind of interplay with some of that lower stuff that's in that harmonic content from that instrument. You know what I mean?
I know like audiophiles and like engineers and stuff hate using the word warm, but
Warm, yeah.
but that's what I would apply to.
Yeah, they'd rather you say
Wurlitzer.
something like syrupy.
Yes.
Like I did. They would say, if you have a viscous
I love viscosity.
placenta of a
I love
song.
nutrients.
Yeah.
I hate murder.
I don't like crime and I don't like murder. I frown upon those things. None of that shit on Thursday at Joe's Cafe.
Yeah.
That's a historic venue, really.
It's historic. No murder.
No murder.
I
Enough
love
people have
the
died.
Wurlitzer really informed my sound.
Right.
I will say that.
And but also it's not necessarily covering all the singles. Stylistically, some of them are like synth poppy, and there may be some bullets are in there.
There might
but
be a little for texture, but it's like not the.
It's not like
not
it's not
front and center.
glaringly because I think that's the thing is that how you want to present the vocal seems to be your priority.
Yeah.
In a way that I enjoy and identify with. That, as cool as I like everything else to be, I really want the vocals to sit on top of that stuff. You know what I mean?
That's what I listen for.
Yeah.
And that's what
Well, and people that don't know
best
anything
at.
about music, that's what they're going to connect with first.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's in a language that they understand. Or it just sounds like the same species of animal that they are.
Yeah.
And so they're attracted to it.
Right. I also lost my thought.
Well,
and to be clear, I didn't play any of the instruments on any of those singles.
really?
I did not. No, and that
Intentionally?
was kind of I wanted to go in and be like, this
Just
is the
focus
song,
on the voice.
and here's kind of the roughly the sweater I want to put on it, and
Stylistically, you mean?
yeah, like for Pearls, I was like, let's do like an 80s night drive, like dance song.
80s Night Drive. That's good.
Yeah. Kind of like if
Kind of like what's going on
Florence
in
did
the
a
warehouse
weekend
over
song
here.
or something. Yeah, I can't totally hear it, but
no,
I
it's-
can feel it.
I feel it in my loins. I think it's an 810.
Sounds right.
Somebody's uncle's over there playing some bass.
But Pearls is fun because it has like halftime and double time parts, and it's just a little wonky little pop song.
I guess since we're getting specific, can we talk a little bit about Good Time Charlie's?
Yeah.
And because this narrative, as a friend of yours, this understanding that this was a thing that could happen, started a long, long time ago.
Oh,
The process of the song being recorded and then the collaboration with Nathan
Willett from Cold War
Willett.
Kids. Yeah.
from Cold War Kids.
Yes.
So I'd listened to that with fresh ears today, like probably for the first time since it came out on YouTube, at least. That I know that song from playing it several times live with you.
Yeah.
Without his vocal on it and with
Right.
a very different instrumentation.
Yeah.
And so to hear it with his vocal on it and the way that there's certain parts where maybe it happens intentionally where you start to not be able to tell on certain parts whose voice is whose for a second. You know what I mean? And then also I think the ending is really powerful. Like you always had that idea to make the bridge kind of abrupt like it is.
Yeah.
But kind of the the aesthetic of the track kind of makes that make way more sense to me listening to it now. And so you didn't really get to meet him much at all.
The most contact that we've done is he posted about an album cover that he was thinking of but couldn't remember the name of the band or what album it was or whatever. And so I like frantically scoured the internet and found it. And he was like, "Oh, thanks." And I was like, "By the way, we have a song together." And like, we're going to do all this stuff.
So
for it,
a mutual friend had introduced him to the song and he expressed that he liked it.
Yeah, David Beeman reached out to him.
I didn't want to blast anybody. I
don't think that's a blast.
Okay, I'm not trying to catch a scoop. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I don't know how much people like to talk about, or it's always. I just want you to know it's up to you whether or not
I won't say it if I don't feel
okay. I just want you to know that's okay with me.
Okay.
So Beeman from the Gum,
from Native Sound, was produced all 3 of the songs, and he knows everyone from the Cold War Kids, and he reached out to Nathan Willett, and Nathan Willett heard it and agreed to sing on it. Yeah,
and how long was it finished before it was out, though?
Oh, a hot minute.
Yeah.
I think a year and some change.
Yeah, and that is something that because again, I'm going through this with a song right now that I keep telling Lucius we're going to finish. That I've been playing for years and years and years, and I've recorded live versions of it, but I've never done a studio version of it with a video or anything yet. I have the audio mostly done. I have to, do a final day of vocals, and now I sound like this. And, but what keeps you going on a song where you write the song, play the song, then record the song, then release the song later, and then release a video maybe after that even? Like, what keeps you motivated? Because that ends up feeling like 5 different whole experiences with the same song as the songwriter. But you have to get all those things done, you have to stay like really like into it.
Yeah.
Do you like that song more now or less now?
Ask me in a couple months,
How long's it been out?
Like a couple weeks. I put it out.
It hasn't been out forever.
May 31st.
Okay, I don't feel as weird then for how many things I noticed listening to it today. That because we used to play versions of that song live at like acoustic gigs and stuff.
Right, at like 9 Mile Garden.
Right, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
And I never even thought of, additional vocals or how to change the arrangement because we didn't have those tools really. Like we were working more in a live sense, so like to throw a little beat together or whatever and try to get going in the synth pop direction, we just didn't spend any time on. So it was so exciting to me. But did you ever get sick of it, like along the way, and think of like? I
don't know if I got sick of it so much as I was listening to it, thinking of like more and more ideas for it that I'm just not going to put on there because I've just gotten to a point where I was just like, it just needs to be out.
Yeah, you have to just finish it at some point.
Right.
That's kind of the problem.
So yeah, I wasn't really sick of it, but like enthusiasm fluctuates around it just because, like you said, it's had so many different little lives, but it's also like in some ways the most important thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
So
right.
I have to remind myself it's not the most important thing I will ever do or like doesn't have to be.
Well, it's the most objectively impressive.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's like in my mind, like top of my resume as a human.
But
in some ways.
But not because that specific thing was the goal. That's just the farthest
No, it wasn't
up.
the goal. It just ended up being really fucking cool because
No, and I think it's great. And I do think, it's a great song. It's, personal and reflective in a way that is easy to follow. And so taking it on the journey that it's been in through production and different aesthetics and different arrangements and whatnot it's still clear what the song is about, and it's still clear, like, the intended energy of the song. It's still easy to connect to the song emotionally, even though I've heard so many different versions of it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I like about it, that I wanted to point out, is that, like, I have tons of songs I've started, but to finish a song and then go back to it and then just give it enough time to actually grow on you before you even produce anything is, I mean, most songs don't make it out of that phase.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so to have something that comes out to be appreciated that way, or just validated in that way by other people, I think is really great. But of course, that's not like your goal was never to have one song either,
Right.
and you don't. You have plenty of other songs. The Pearls video seems to be doing well. Is that one newer too? Charlie's newer.
It's the second one I did. Yeah, Charlie is the newest.
Okay.
It's not like seeing the same reaction, and I have some ideas about why that is, but I kind of just want to be in a place for, like, thinking about.
Do you want me to make you some clips?
Clips?
You know,
Oh, like of the video?
Yeah.
I would love that.
Let me get on that,
Okay.
because I don't even.
I think part of it is
YouTube takes longer than Instagram or TikTok, whereas also TikTok and Instagram die off sooner. However, what I've learned in doing this podcast is think of the video as your long form content, even though the song is 4 minutes.
yeah,
Just
about.
Yeah, 3:48,
Yeah.
and now I gotta check.
I
That,
think it's 3:41.
yeah, so say the whole video is 4 minutes. Really, now that's your long form content.
Right.
Really, people will not finish that for the sake of their own attention span, the same way they might not a 4-hour video. Really, I
Right.
mean, sometimes it happens sooner than that. So what I've noticed for growth, to get people to even know that these longer videos like this one are out there,
Yeah.
is
You gotta put out like a trailer
clips.
and like a clip.
well, and I saw you did a trailer too.
I did a
With the
trailer for Attic.
This is the thing. Did you take typing in school?
Yeah.
Honey, I'm telling you, 16:9 is out. The kids don't even want to look at it if it's not 9:16.
16:9?
Like, when you're looking at your trailer for your music video,
Yeah.
it's done in widescreen.
Okay.
Kids are doing everything in portrait now.
Okay. I don't know.
But this is what I'm learning as a creator.
Yeah,
Not
no,
that I'm for
my
this.
ears are open.
Not that I'm for this, but that people, young guys that I play with who are huge fans of podcasts and huge fans of me and whatnot, hardly ever catch the long form episode of this show. But they always get the clips.
Yeah.
They always get the clips.
They always get the clips.
If every episode of this show got as many downloads as one of any of my TikToks gets views, like, we'd have the Lion's Choice money already, Lucius. So it's crazy. So I'm thinking, because you and me never even thought we could trick people into caring about us for long enough to get a video made. When we were kids, we're like, nobody is going to make a music video about a couple of pudgy Caucasians from the suburbs of a state that no one even knows how to pronounce, who hasn't been unfortunate enough to visit there. So the idea that technology has kind of brought some of the ceiling down to us, and we've hopefully matured as artistic adults by 33. You're younger than me, so I'm 33 though, same as Jesus.
Same as Jesus.
And so the fact that you get to do that now, just because it's attainable doesn't mean that it's not a big deal. A music video is a really cool thing. When you see official music video on YouTube, that's a big deal.
I love them as an art form.
I love them. We also grew up with some they were on in the morning.
They were especially romanticized in my head because I didn't get to see them all the time. I didn't have cable growing up.
Oh, Christ. Jesus.
So
that's how you get if you want your daughter to just randomly one day start playing piano and turn it into a whole thing, go ahead and don't have cable.
That's what happened to me.
Right?
All the most talented. You don't ever hear Bill Gates talk about, oh man, I love Spike TV. You never hear Steve Jobs talk about QVC.
It gave me a scarcity mentality around entertainment, so I just had to become it.
You had to become the
I
entertainment.
had to become the entertainment.
Well, this is not the most destructive version of that it could have taken.
Yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. No, I'm over 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think our body could take the kind of abuse that people think musicians put themselves through.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, outside of alcohol, maybe. Like, if I, the kids are doing what now? The kids have Molly? Is that just ecstasy?
It's like diluted and...
It's like diet ecstasy?
Kinda. Yeah, but it's like cut with stuff, different stuff.
I don't like them when they cut things.
think.
I don't even like hybrids.
I'm scared.
And
one thing about me is I'm scared.
so the music video thing, I really think I'll make some clips because No Antics has been experimenting with this too. It's harder for us because the videos are not necessarily shot in a way that makes tons of sense. But with you being the focal point of so much of the video, cutting you out in 16:9 and making it into a clip that you could spam on the lower socials, we call them. Mm-hmm. The reels and the shorts and the TikToks.
Okay, gotcha.
The lower socials.
The lower socials. I'm learning things.
Oh, today's only Monday.
Today's Monday.
Oh, honey. That's killer, because that means this could definitely come out tomorrow, and then people know that means officially, guys, Joe's Cafe, Thursday night, Bea James, an evening with, featuring the likes of.
We got Holy Posers coming. We got Zach Sloan.
Yes.
We got Neil C. Luke.
Yes.
And we have Jacob V.
I love that.
Yes!
I love that. You know, you have been a part of music for me where I really try to play instruments in a way that interact with and amplify the vocal. I think like guitar, Prince was a really great influence on me for that because he, of course, was a vocalist. He played with a lot of great vocalists, and
kind of a producer figure as well.
Sure,
right.
And so with has that been hard since you moved to Nashville to kind of find the right types to pair up with in that way, or is there so many more of them down there? Maybe
there have been some really lovely organic opportunities, but it's still like a process of like learning to network a little better and like reach out to people and try more collaborating, even if like the last time might have like not gone anywhere or like didn't go in a certain direction that you hoped or whatever. Just kind of always going to be a process, I think. But yeah, like I said, like it's just been very focused on the videos. So, so I mean, I could speak to that, but like I've like
people making each of those.
The first one was my friend Samuel P. He's done a lot of his own music videos, and then he's done a couple of Kara's, and then some for Holy Posers and Ashley Byrne. And he's also like a rapper and kind of like a performance artist. And he's just has really good taste and has a fun sensibility. And then the other two are by Erica, and I told you how I met her, and she has like other areas she's kind of been focused on, but like I really, really love working with her and like coming up with ideas and kind of learning alongside each other in some ways, and then like learning from someone else's perspective.
And so you
someone
gather
else's aesthetic
more of the. You're not necessarily stuck into doing something the same way every time. You're still kind of in a collection stage.
No, I want to play.
Yeah. Is there a bunch of material in the can, or is there an upcoming production opportunity on the horizon? Are you just writing right now?
Yeah. I've been living a lot of life, and so I don't have as much like in the can as you would say that I would hope, but I'm definitely just like trying to do more and more. I hate to say content stuff like
Yeah. No, but I mean, you have to.
by myself. Like I've filled up my sister's bathtub with dollar store flowers.
God, I had no idea where that was going to go. Every step of that sentence got weirder for me. And then it ended up being fine. It's just flowers.
Filled it with flowers, and I recorded one of my songs in there today, and I'm going to try and turn it into something that I want to post, to just like keep
No, DD
stuff
and
going
Antics
out.
is going crazy with this because he's the one really on the daily grind of that stuff for us, and it's exhausting trying to come up with something new and something that fits into what else is happening online or what would fit with your other content, and trying to promote stuff without being cringy or totally forgettable about it. I mean, it's
but also
just
like
impossible.
be true to your own voice.
Oh my God. That's if you care about that shit.
And that's if you give a shit.
That's if you give a shit about that. Integrity.
Can we pause for me to piss?
Absolutely. It's
Okay.
a perfect time for me to pause. I'm going to make sure my wife's not having a heart attack.
Okay. Is there something we should do about?
No. Oh, I don't think it'll pick up.
I don't think it was either, but yes, I'm listening.
Yeah. You're still rolling for the sake of continuity?
Yeah, because I wanted to send you one file.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because your cameras are still going, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I got too high or what, but at one point I'm like, man, how am I going to get out of this sentence that I'm in?
Yeah. Oh, God, I hate it.
Is it coming across okay?
No, yeah. You're
Okay,
fine.
because sometimes I sit in these and I'm like,
What am I saying?
nothing even sounds good.
Yeah.
It's probably because I did one too recently. Because we
Oh.
we only stopped because I really had other shit to do the other night with M-Dog.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was like.
And it was just 2 days ago.
2 hours. Yeah.
This is wild. But because otherwise I would have had to run home and do all my cat boxes and stuff. And like, I got to do it. I have all the resources.
Yeah.
But to have to do that and to immediately then host company, I want to go do my cat boxes and go straight to bed.
Yeah.
After I do cat boxes. Yeah, we played in here when this was the lounge.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and when this was, her and I.
You and Carol.
Yeah, I was one of her original accompanists. I would play electric guitar, but DI like I do, so it's really the same experience as an acoustic electric guitar, but it sounds better, and I have delay and stuff. And then we did one at. Why did we play here that time?
Oh, it was like.
Shut up! You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
You shut your mouth.
I used to come to the open mic here all the time, and they did like a featured new faces kind of thing.
Yeah.
Joanna Sarenko did it too.
Yeah. Was I your first accompanist?
Yeah, I think so.
See, I took credit for that officially.
No, Brennan
Let me
Cash.
have this one, Carol.
Are we going?
It's for continuity. I just left it rolling, but I'll just clip the pause.
Good.
It's easier that way.
Yeah, Brendan Cash was the first one, I think.
Am I the?
Besides my
I don't have
uncle.
to ask that question because I know the answer. Am I the only accompanist you haven't slept with, you hog? I don't want to know that. I just saw him the other day. He was
Brendan
opening
Cash?
for a band that I went to go see on purpose. He's been on this show.
Brennan has?
Yeah. When he first moved back, I had him on the show. This would have been 2021. Summer 20.
Okay.
Summer of 21? Yeah, because I started the show in 20.
Yes. But you're the first one that I did originals with.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So, have more opinions. Or things to struggle to communicate.
Yeah, because you know who has a great catalog of originals? RuPaul.
I wasn't expecting that, but
That's why it's because it's so unexpected. But there's bangers. But there was one in our
doesn't it have
wedding.
some, like,
Lucius, what
country
was
songs?
that? This is the beginning. The beginning. This is the beginning
That was season
of the
6.
rest of your life. That's RuPaul. And me and my wife got married, we walked down the aisle to that.
That's amazing.
I'm sure it's on video somewhere.
Yeah.
That really happened. So, and then RuPaul has other songs that are also good.
Which one should I check out?
Oh my God.
Sissy That Walk.
Well, I know
Sissy
that one.
Walk. Yeah, of course.
Sissy That Walk and
Call Me Mother.
There's
Kitty
way
Girl,
more contemporary shit than that. I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Call Me Mother was like the latest
RuPaul
one
is
that
like
was
Ray
like
J,
really
where
good.
you don't ever think one of the greats is going to be Ray J, but Ray J has never taken an L.
Sometimes that's the way to be. Be a Ray J. Hang back and just be quietly prolific.
Up until the sex tape part. Maybe skip that part.
Okay.
Oh, what do I like? What do I like by RuPaul? CoverGirl, of course. Supermodel. Glamazon. Glamazon has big... Who is that lady? Like the original fat white drag queen.
Lady Bunny? Are you about to say
Divine?
Lady Bunny?
Divine.
Divine, yeah.
I love Divine's music, even though Divine was not actually a very accurate singer, and there wasn't the great technology then. They did a great job with what they had at the time.
Yeah.
But I love Divine's music, and Glamazon has big Divine energy.
RuPaul's also a Scorpio.
RuPaul's a Scorpio.
He made a post about it the other day.
Tell me about that. The beginning we just sang. Jealous of My Boogie? I'm going to send you this whole playlist. Are you a Spotify user?
I am. I say that like I'm
Champion. My wife listens to Champion all the time. You're a champion, greatest of them all. You're a champion, still standing tall.
I would have harmonized with you, but I chose
And
to
you'll
just like...
always be a hero. I have to do it so I don't have to.
I'm singing with my eyes. For the listener, I'm singing with my
great.
eyes.
It's great. Peanut butter with Big Frida. I love Big Frida.
I know you do.
We have other things I want to do before we leave. How much time are we at?
We're at 65 minutes.
Okay, I just couldn't tell. It's like it's either been 20 minutes or 120. And so in general, outside of an evening with Bea James at Bea Jamia, outside of an evening with Bea James at Joe's Cafe this Thursday here in St. Louis for the first time in a long time. This is going to be great. What else is coming up that you're excited for people to keep an eye out for?
I'm going to write more Substacks.
Or are you doing Substack?
I've done one entrance for Substack.
I've done a couple free editorials on my Patreon to try to boost free membership, to try to get more people interacting with Patreon so that I can get conversion into the
I need to
paid
talk
tier.
to you about Patreon and stuff too.
I think Patreon makes more... I don't know exactly what all Substack offers. Patreon is more multimedia, so it makes more sense for me. But Patreon doesn't have an ideal thing for releasing music there. Like, I wish it had a player that was multiple songs, like how Bandcamp does. But you could sell artifacts there, but and they could be high quality files
Through Substack.
through Patreon.
Oh, okay.
But like releasing like an album on there, it doesn't really look like an album.
Gotcha.
But it can be. Mm-hmm. And it can have the artwork and everything. It just doesn't really present in a way that's like that. And Patreon's diversified a lot. They've reinvested a lot. So like you can sell artifacts there digitally that like an album, for example, that's a one-time purchase that they don't have to be a member to buy. And that could be separate from the monthly content or the monthly membership thing. And then there's tiers within that people get really crazy with. I only have the one tier currently and then the free tier. But I think, yeah, Substack is just words.
I also put up a cover of I did an entry about like my connection to Cold War Kids and kind of like the comparison of this Cold War Kids song with Good Time Charlie's and like what Cold War Kids and Nathan Willett means to me and blah, blah, blah. And then I posted the video for the cover. And then I announced that I was going to release the single on
good.
May 31st.
And that's the biggest thing that I've learned in really trying to give a shit about like this stuff. What I love about doing the podcast is I can talk about this stuff that we're all doing creatively, but without having to like just see it in its natural environment. So you can connect with people more often. And then if you cut this up into stuff that you could put out every day in smaller bits like that, it's really great for conversion. But a lot of people also just stop at the clips. They're like, oh, that's good that they're doing that. And they just move on.
Right.
And it's not like we're making tons of money on the music digitally anyway.
Yeah.
Anymore, especially. But yeah, there's some kind of missing connection that I haven't cracked the code on yet.
I think you're right. I also think I could have been more intentional about the timing of when I released it.
But you've never really felt super confident with like the production management of things.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, you maybe it's because I think of it as a benefit on your part that you still kind of stay focused on the part that you actually want to do, just doing that better. Mm-hmm. And you try not to get too far down the rabbit hole of recording equipment or different instruments or different technologies or whatever that eat up a lot of time and detract from that. You kind of still spend most of your time playing and singing.
Yeah. I just try and surround myself with people that can do it better than me or like might have like resources or ideas that I don't have.
How long do these music video shoots take?
They were both like a 1 day.
That's usually how ours are.
Deal.
We usually do the shopping in the morning, and then we shoot in the afternoon. Then we consolidate files over dinner, and then everyone goes home.
That sounds like a well-oiled machine.
I would love to produce a video for you.
That would be fun.
We could do it in 4K.
Yeah, I just want to start doing more stuff that's like that I am more hands-on with that I just so I can just learn more about how to get it done.
That was kind of our approach. I've been in bands that don't want to do anything that comes across as amateur or unprofessional.
Yeah.
But
how are you going to get to the good stuff?
Well, and you don't have to keep everything forever.
Yeah.
If you go on to make an award-winning film, you don't have to leave up your shitty YouTube video from 12 years ago.
Right.
However, if the options are realistically making a music video or not, it's better to make it.
Yeah.
And with
I've been given the opposite advice before, and I was just like, well, this is what I'm able to do right now.
Because they being, we're learning the capitalist patriarchy maybe is,
you said it.
Yeah. It's a common theme this month on the show.
Okay.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Hail Satan.
I did release the Good Time Charlie's video on June 1st for a reason.
Yeah. And
you're talking about gatekeeping, I think.
Yeah. They want to do that. They want to own the means of production, not because it's actually... That's the problem that a lot of people are learning is, we have a lot more music being produced now, and not much of it is much better than the best of it before. But there was also a lot of junk being made because there wasn't enough free market and people pursuing artists they actually like. Like sometimes you'd put out a $10 million record that people hated.
Yeah.
Like George Benson had some flops, brother. There were some classics. I love George Benson, but there were a couple records where you're like, damn, that's a bad year.
What songs do I know by George Benson?
That's gonna be the name of the episode.
Because I know that I think I know one or two
with his mustache.
Okay.
I'm trying to, because he also plays guitar, and so I get. Give me the night. All right, that one.
Tonight.
Oh, and he also did "Turn Your Love Around." Dun, 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 dun. Don't you turn me down.
I'm singing with my eyes again.
I may have been adding extra stuff to that, but the guy from Steve Lukather from Toto wrote that with a guy for George Benson. Should the podcast just be random shit I remember from VH1 Classic? I've been on a roll this week. I'm at war with Mutt Lang. His people reached out to me. They are not happy about last week's clip.
Your last name, like Jacob VH1.
Jacob VH1. That would be what I would do, is like I would just lay in bed and moan and cry and watch VH1 Classic until I was ready to masturbate.
You could stream it. Just do like a Twitch stream, 8 hours.
Just... It's pop-up video. It's that I can actually read. And so when I watch pop-up video, I learn all that stuff and I keep it.
I would love to see,
we should make a
Twitch
pop-up
of
video.
you in front of a whiteboard like Charlie Day and just remembering things
Maybe
from
that's the concept
VH1
we'll do for whatever video
into the
we're gonna
camera.
make.
Okay.
Is we'll do a pop-up video.
Okay.
Like, we need a beach. You want to travel?
A pop-up video, like it has the aesthetic of a 1999 pop-up video.
Just think of Wilson Phillips, Hold On,
Hold on for one more
as a
day.
pop-up video, which they did. But
They
then,
did that?
yeah, there's a pop-up video for Hold On for One More Day by Wilson Phillips. But I have no idea how to sing the verses to those songs. That's one of those songs I love, but I tried to support some people at a karaoke night I was hosting, and I tried to sing it with them to get them started. I couldn't. You could hold a gun to my head still right now. I have no idea how to start that verse.
Ooh, yeah.
I can do the pre-chorus, the chorus, maybe even the bridge once I get there. But that verse 1, with no reference.
I've never tried to do it, but I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying.
I know what you're running into already. It's just like weird phrasing and where to put your breaths.
Yeah,
and like
they're
it's a
really
lot of
just killing
words.
time until the part of the song that's going to be in the commercial, which is not that part.
Mm-hmm.
But she sings it like that. I gotta
Okay.
reference it. I can mute it later. God damn it! This is so hard.
This is a hard job.
This first verse is crazy. Instrumental's recognizable and lovely.
Why do you lock yourself up in these chains?
Well, of course it's easy when they're doing it for you.
I'm not saying it's easy. I don't know the words.
That first line especially.
I listen to it so much that I have to like skip it now.
What do you
when
love
it's
about
on
that shit?
Well, it's me and Kayla love dancing around to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's very like bridesmaids
Yeah.
scene for me.
Oh, that's late though in our lexicon. There's earlier reasons to love that.
It sealed it, if you will. Like it gave me references like whenever they're like it's at the wedding at the end.
I like how you're defending yourself. Like what I just said to you wasn't ridiculous. That's late in our lexicon.
That's just classic.
What did I
Jacob.
say after that? That's late in our lexicon. There's earlier reasons to love
that.
this. Do you want to remind me how to play patterns?
It's in C. Now it is. It didn't used to be. And then my friend was like, "You're singing that too low." And I was like, "You're right. Here's the key I actually know how to play anyway." T. Do you just want to play it? Or should I play it with you? Just like on the couch. that helpful information. That's all it is. Keep it close. Keep it close. Every night.
Oh.
Yeah. Every night. 6 a.m. Bus or fight. At least we're still making love. Wondering. Let's start over.
Yeah.
Keep you close every night. 6 a.m. Bus or fight. At least we're still making love. I'm wondering all the time where you are, wrong or right. Even though I wish it was. And now you're not there when I need you. Show up when I don't wanna see you. Is this just a pattern you're used to? Keeping up. And every time I close my eyes, imagine us lamplighting red wine. And I loved you the whole goddamn time, but not enough. And I still just miss you. And try to be someone else and pray to God that it helps. At least I'm still showing up. And I couldn't be what you want. And hope one day I'll wake up over it and moving on. But now you're not there when I need you. Show up when I don't wanna see you. Is this just a pattern you're used to? Keeping up. And every time I close my eyes, imagine us lamplighting red wine. And I loved you the whole goddamn time, but not enough. And I still just miss you. I can't wait for the day I don't hate you. It's just, yeah.
I remember that part. Hold on. Oh.
I can't wait for the day I don't hate you. It's just, right now I can't escape you. And I'm hoping one day I can fake it and move along. But I still just miss you. Ooh, I still just miss you. I still just miss you. Keep you close every night. 6 a.m. fuss or fight. At least we're still making love.
Now I remember it.
Cool. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again. Just for the hell of it, just to make sure. It's longer than you think it's going to be.
Oh.
It's the thing. Which is not a problem.
It's about 3 minutes. It's a spiritual journey. It's what it is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Keep you close every night. 6 a.m. fuss or fight. At least we're still making love. Wondering all the time where you are, wrong or right. Even though I wish it was. And now you're not there when I need you. Show up when I don't wanna see you. Is this just a pattern you're used to? Keeping up. And every time I close my eyes, imagine us lamplight in red wine. And I loved you the whole goddamn time. Not enough. And I still just miss you. Ooh. And try to be someone else and pray to God that it helps. At least I'm still showing up. And I couldn't be what you want. And I hope one day I wake up over it and moving on. But now you're not there when I need you. Show up when I don't wanna see you. Is this just a pattern you're used to? Keeping up. And every time I close my eyes, imagine us lamplight in red wine. And I loved you the whole goddamn time. But not enough. And I still just miss you. Ooh. And I can't wait for the day I don't hate you. It's just right now I can't escape you. I'm hoping one day I can fake it and move along, but I still just miss you. I still just miss you. I still just miss you. Ooh, ooh. And I keep you close every night. 6 a.m. fuss or fight. At least we're still making love.
So it's immediately after the second chorus, we go straight into the
Bridge.
bridge like that.
Yeah, maybe I
It
should.
just feels like
maybe I
to
should
me. If I was expecting it to be longer for some reason,
be like bridge.
no. But if it's after the second chorus, like it's like a normal pop song is, then I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Lucius, we're gonna fade out on that. So if you want to cut audio and start wrapping that up, that's fine. at any point, I'm going to fade to the poster for the show or the event photo or whatever it was. For that, we have way more than enough time in the can.
Okay.
But I can get it out tomorrow.